After what feels like an eternity, it seems like Microsoft has closed in on the deal purchasing Activision Blizzard. I don't know if it's 100% set in stone, but they're confident enough to advertise that they did it, and I don't see that momentum stopping. The studios will be absorbed into their conglomerate. Microsoft will have access to their IPs, and the long-awaited removal from power of a scumbag so vile that he struggled to date due to women Googling him and seeing how many images popped up of him photoshopped to look like the devil. I'm not making that up. And honestly, I'm happy with the decision. Blizzard used to be my favorite gaming company. Many of their games are still among my favorites. And it's been horrifying seeing how far it's managed to fall. A change in oversight is not only welcome, it might be the only thing that can correct this mess. And with that in mind, I have a request. Microsoft, I know nobody important that works there is watching this, and I'm sure there's bigger priorities about things to fix at Blizzard, but I'm going to pretend I'm speaking directly to those people anyway. I am asking, begging even, hold on. I am getting out of my chair. I am on my knees to plead with you. Please bring back Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard had something special here. I would go so far as to say this was to MOBAs what Smash Brothers was to fighting games. It simplified the formula to make it more accessible, redefining the important elements of the gameplay, which in turn allowed it to make insane creative decisions that other MOBAs aren't able to make. They can't do it. They're too limited by their scope, while still retaining a very high skill ceiling due to the core mechanics still at play. The best MOBA character designs I have ever seen all come from this game. There are dozens of examples of brilliance. The sheer amount of gameplay variety to be had, thanks to all the different battlegrounds here, is insane! And Blizzard just let it die. Currently, it is a near lifeless husk, hollowed out after the parasitic higher-ups could no longer drain it at the rate of their appalling appetite. But this husk hasn't broken. The structure is still intact. All that's required is for something new to fill the gaps. And Microsoft, you are perfectly poised for greatness here. Everyone knows crossovers are all the rage right now. It is a guaranteed method of ensuring a project's success, at least in the short term. I'm sure plenty of conversations have been had about how Microsoft could do a platform fighter or a traditional fighting game. But Microsoft, you don't need to make a new game. You just need to add to the existing one. Heroes of the Storm already has a very solid groundwork. It already has a dormant, dedicated fanbase waiting to wake up. It already has plenty of ways for it to be financially successful. All that is needed here is a spark. And you have so many sparks. Okay, here, I'll give you some freebies, okay? We got the basic level stuff here, dip into the brand recognition, Master Chief joins the Nexus, Arbiter joins the Nexus, Doomguy, Dovahkiin, Banjo-Kazooie, the one Gears of War dude, never remember his name. Baseline level, that's already successful. But for this to really take off, it needs a healthy dosage of Heroes of the Storm insanity. So, new hero, Gruntilda, has a Medivh-like gimmick where she can fly over terrain while mounted. She can cast abilities while doing so, but is also vulnerable to damage, so it's a give-and-take scenario, by comparison. She's got her basic boss battle abilities, the tank is her ultimate, but most importantly, as a passive, when she dies, like all heroes, her body ragdolls like crazy, and wherever that ragdoll lands, a gigantic boulder slams into the ground, dealing massive damage to anything nearby, and allowing undead Grunty to respawn from it instead of the Nexus if she chooses. Is this useful? No! The ragdolling can't be planned for. But is it funny? Absolutely. New battleground, the Twin Peaks. Mumbo's mountain is one core, with Mumbo standing on top, casting spells, while Grunty's lair serves as the other, with Grunty filling the same role. Grunty is also the announcer and can still be played as because Heroes of the Storm is cooler than Smash Bros. And not only allows that, but actively has fun with it.
Is that me down there? Good to know I have a spare.
We got the mighty Jinjonator as the boss. Grunty sends Gruntlings as minions, while Mumbo sends termites and crocodiles that have very clearly been transformed from basic Heroes of the Storm minions. But most importantly, the objective here is a trivia show. The game board opens up in the center, and random questions from a pool of hundreds relating to all kinds of Microsoft games appear, and players must stand on the answers like it's a Mario Party minigame. Standing on the right answer gives a massive buff, the wrong causes severe damage, and the team with the most players on the right answer gets the benefits. And of course, any and all gameplay is still allowed while guessing. So murdering guessers or forcing them onto the wrong choices is a valid option. Another new hero, the Age of Empires 2 Monk. He's a healer/summoner, has no auto attack but can summon Age of Empires units to defend himself, which he can heal. He's got the ability to take control of other units, he can find and collect relics from across the map to bring to forts and empower them, and his initial talents chooses his civilization with matching benefits from the actual game. Later talents choosing between monastery upgrades for himself or upgrading his units. Another new battleground, the Battle of the Mines. This is Flood vs. Zerg. Gravemind is one core, Overmind is the other. The entire objective is dedicated to spreading infestation to out-infest the other mind with their respective infested goons. Another new hero, Tony Hawk. Like, actually him. I'm sure he'd be down for it. He's a melee assassin. The more tricks he does skateboarding off of other heroes, the more damage he does. More new heroes, Chai, Lou from Guitar Hero, and Dr. Engine in his drummer mech, because I want a full rock band team composition. We could have a new battleground, which is Griffball, that's self-explanatory. Bring in Caboose as a new hero, why not? Also self-explanatory. We could have Sharkhatzer mounts. We could give Murky a Dr. Cortex costume for the Dr. Cortex hero to complain about. Both of whom are riding Halo Ghosts that they use to charge off to fight a Doom guy who's bought a Diablo Angel skin. You could have a Doom guy with a Diablo Angel skin. I don't need to explain this, do I? How much hype this sort of stuff can drum up? How many different fan bases that could be pulled in here? How much money they'd be willing to pay for this kind of stuff? Microsoft, please. I'd ask you to take a chance here, but it isn't really a chance. Please realize the potential. Blizzard has done so much to kill interest in their games recently. And yet, their fan bases are so dedicated, so passionate, that they can successfully fundraise enough money to employ modders to continue developing the games that Blizzard foolishly abandoned. What other fan base can do that? Microsoft, you know this works. You did it with Age of Empires 2, and I'll love you forever for that, thank you. And you can do the same here with a bigger payout. Please, I am begging you. Help this game become the juggernaut it was always meant to be.